Warning, the following video might be disturbing for some viewers. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and their form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that goes into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but all changes come with practice and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thoughts process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight that have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. I actually struggled to read the handwriting. But I read it faster this time than I did in the first try. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Dan the drummer. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in a last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and so to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Dan the drummer. Me too. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monika is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language?
Eh? Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Ah, thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How could that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple of suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it.
But then you don't get constructive criticism.
Which people did, by the way. Monika liked it. And then the drummer did too.
Did I like it? I can't remember.
So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all,
Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Dan the drummer liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up.
oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
Eh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Dan the drummer appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Well, you know what? I was the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Dan the drummer started showing up.
Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little...
This doesn't involve you.
Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. What's happening?
Me? Look who's talking, you wanna be edgy bitch.
Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle's too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend.
See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know.
If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try.
Whoa. Be careful or you might cut yourself in that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you?
Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the is wrong with your head?
Yeah, go on. Let Dan the drummer hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after that.
Suddenly, Yuri turns towards me, as if she just noticed I was standing here. Dan the drummer, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it.
I don't know what to do in this situation. Whoa. What? What the hell? What's happening? What? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Hey, Dan the drummer. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay. What on earth is happening? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even comfort my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. Have you guys picked up that the quicker the music got, the quicker I read? I just realized that now, and it is messing with my brain. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. What the? I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in the desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Dan the drummer, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. Yeah, your coding is totally out of whack because of something that happened. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. What is she insinuating? Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monika. You can go first, Monika. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much chance of discuss my book with Dan the drummer. That's actually true. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate you understanding. What? Ish, my brain can't take this anymore. Shame. Eternity. Agonizing. Unrestrained. Heartbeat. Vivacious. Valentine. Darn. Determination. Sensation. Disoriented, that's how I feel at the moment. What on earth? Should we pick this? Or is it gonna crash the game? Something tells me I should pick this. I'm gonna pick it. Wait, what? I should not have picked that. What happened? Inferno? Horror. Graveyard. Frightening. Depression. Atone. Melancholy. What the hell? Did you guys hear that? That was weird. And that was not me putting in a scream like I did in the previous episode. Secretive. Extraordinary. Another day passes, and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Welcome back, Dandrodrum. What happened? Hi, Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me, or if it's Yuri's expression, but the weight of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little. Yuri glances over her shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki is reading manga at a desk, and surprisingly, Monika isn't here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room. About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before, and something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think we're usually like this. Not just me, but Natsuki as well. Yuri, I'm happy that you were considerate and apologize. You don't have to worry too much. Even though I've only been here a couple of days, I could tell something was off yesterday. Maybe we were just a little extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing poems. Or maybe it was something else. But whatever it was, it didn't make me think any less of you. I had already decided that there's no way you can be a bad person. And now that you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it. Ah, Dan the drummer. Don't say those kinds of things so frankly. They make me a little too happy. I'm really glad that you're such an understanding person. And I'm really glad that you joined this club. Everything is a little bit brighter with you around and... Sorry, what am I saying right now? I just...
Hey, have you guys seen Monika? Ah!
No, I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was.
Man. Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either?
Yuri is clearly taken aback by how calmly Natsuki is addressing her. No, I haven't.
Jeez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Natsuki, about yesterday. I just wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean anything of the things I said, and I'll do my best to stay under control from now on. So...
Yuri, what the heck are you talking about? Did you do something yesterday?
Huh?
Jeez. Whatever's on your mind, I'm sure it was nothing.
I don't know if I should read this part or not. Bad happening, you're the kind of person who worries too much. Something happened with Natsuki's programming. Something's off. But...
I'll accept your apology anyway if it helps you feel better about it. Besides, it's kind of nice to hear, since I was always afraid you secretly hated me or something like that.
No, not at all. I don't hate you.
Ahaha. Well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either.
Natsuki turns to me.
You're still on trial, though.
Hey. Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. There you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Nah. Well, Natsuki was.
I was not. What took you so long anyway?
Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time.
That makes no sense though. You would have heard the bell ring at least.
I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano.
Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monika.
Don't give me more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good yet.
Still, that must require a lot of dedication. So I'm still impressed.
Well, thanks, Yuri.
You should play something for us sometime.
That's...
Monika looks at me.
Well, I'm working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will.
That sounds cool. I look forward to it.
Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down then, drummer.
Monika smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that.
Don't worry. I was hoping that I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently.
I see. I'm not sure if Monika was referring to the whole club or just me.
In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I?
No, not really. I choose not to bring up anything that the three of us talked about. Besides, Natsuki has already run off into the closet. Dan the drummer, since your compliments put me in a good mood, I was wondering if you'd like to spend some time together today. I mean, in the club.
Yeah, definitely. I planned on it anyway.
Okay. Can we start now? Let's find a place to sit. I'm being a little forceful, aren't I? I'm sorry. My heart just won't stop pounding for some reason.
Don't worry about it. If anything, it's nice to see you have so much energy.
Yeah, but I need to try and calm down. I won't be able to focus on reading like this.
Take your time.
Yuri takes a deep breath, then pulls a copy of the book out of her bag. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first?
Not at all.
Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second?
Sure.
Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher desk and then I'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back.
I might as well walk with you.
That's okay. You stay here. It won't take long. Pitcher in hand, Yuri hurries out of the classroom.
Did Yuri leave you again?
No, it's not like that this time. She's just filling up a water pitcher to make tea.
Oh, okay. Sorry for misunderstanding.
Wait, didn't we go together in the previous playthrough? Before BSD? 10 minutes passes. Yuri said it wouldn't take long. Is something holding her up? No, please don't. I'm bored just waiting here, so I decide to go look for her. No, please, no. Let's see. The most logical place for Yuri to be would be the nearest water fountain. I start heading down the hallway. Ha, 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 ha. What's that noise? It's coming from around the corner. It sounds like breathing. A sharp inhale, like someone is sucking air through their teeth. Are they in pain? I reach the corner and peer around it. Yuri? Ah! I'm back. I'm back. Thanks for waiting patiently. Dan the drummer, do you like oolong tea? Wait, what just happened? That rewind totally messed with me. Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature to the kettle to 200 degrees. Fahrenheit or Celsius? Probably probably Fahrenheit. Because water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. And if you want to bake something in the oven, you put it at 200 degrees Celsius. So you would not boil water at 200 degrees Celsius. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert in tea or anything? In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Ah, perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show, and you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around, anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Dan the drummer. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Dan the drummer, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because of your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yes, I have a terrible reading posture. Is that why that's why we should sit on the floor? Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies. I take it, since it go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more that I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup, holding it with my hand that's not holding the book. I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus, because now I need to worry about making sure I don't actually touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. Ah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any hard over time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Eh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Dan the drummer. Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Yuri starts to breathe heavily. I can't. Dan the drummer. Suddenly, Yuri forcefully grabs my arm and jerks me to my feet. My teacup gets knocked over. Dan the drummer. My heart won't stop pounding, Dan the drummer. I can't calm down. I can't focus on anything anymore. Can you feel it, Dan the drummer? Yuri suddenly presses my hand against her chest. Why is this happening to me? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I can't make it stop. It even makes me not want to read. I just want to look at you. What the hell? What on earth is happening? It's time to share poems. Okay, what just happened? I think I'm gonna show my poem to Natsuki first, just because this thing freaked me out.
I liked your last one better.
Really?
Well, yeah. I can tell you were a little more daring with this one. But you're really not good enough for that yet. It fell flat.
That may be true, but I just wanted to try something different. I'm still figuring this all out.
Fair enough. You're still new at this, so I won't expect you to find your style right away. I mean, everyone in the club writes really differently from each other. I mean, you'll find a little influence from all of us. For instance, I noticed that you were spending more time with Yuri today. Not that I care who you spent your time with. After all, I was taught never to expect anything from anybody. So it's not like I was waiting for you or anything. Still, you should at least look over my poem. You'll probably be able to learn something from it. Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of the words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. One of her friends starts to like spiders too. That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if it doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers. and I'm gonna tell everyone.
It took me the second playthrough, but I just now realized this poem is not about Amy liking spiders.
Not bad, right?
It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's.
Yesterday's was way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think it was the best I could do.
No, of course not.
Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I know I have to explain it. Like anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid if people find out, they'd make fun of you or think less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes as long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy? I think people really need to learn to accept others for liking weird things. Such as two of the girls in this very club who I respectively won't name. Kind of ironic that even in my own place of comfort I can't even have people respect me. Jeez, now you're making me complain too much.
What did I do? For what it's worth, I respect you.
Well, I guess thanks. But it's kind of obvious that you'll respect Yuri more, so... Whatever, we're done sharing, so you can leave now.
Yikes. I'm gonna just do Yuri this time because I always end with Monika. I've been waiting for this. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Dan the drummer. This one might even be better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques we're practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. That makes me so happy. It's so amazing to feel like I'm valued, Dan the drummer. Everything that you write is a treasure to me. My heart pounds just holding it. Please don't. I want to write a poem about this feeling. Is that bad, Dan the drummer? I'm not being weird, right? I'm having a harder time than usual at concealing my emotions. I'm kind of embarrassed. But right now I just want you to read my poem too. Okay? Wheel. A rotating wheel, turning an axle, grinding, bolt head, linear gearbox, falling sky, 7 holy stakes, a docked ship, a portal to another world, a thin rope tied to a thick rope, a Tor harness, parabolic gearbox, expanding universe, time controlled by slipping cogwheels, existence of God, swimming with open water in all directions, drowning, a prayer written in blood, a prayer written in time-devouring snakes with human eyes, a thread connecting all living human eyes, a kaleidoscope of holy stakes, exponential gearbox, a sky of exploding stars. God is breathing the existence of God, a wheel rotating in 6 dimensions, 40 gears and a ticking clock, a clock that ticks 1 second for every rotation of the planet, a clock that ticks 40 times every time it ticks every second time, a bolt head of holy stakes tied to the existence of a docked ship to another world, a kaleidoscope of blood written in clocks, a time-devouring prayer connecting a sky of 40 years, and open human eyes in all directions, breathing gearbox, breathing bolt head, breathing ship, breathing portal, breathing snakes, breathing God, breathing blood, breathing holy stakes, breathing human eyes, breathing time, breathing prayers, breathing sky, breathing wheel. Interesting. It doesn't really matter what it's about. My mind has been a little hyperactive lately, so I have to take it out on my pen. That's a pen fell out of my backpack yesterday, so I took it home for safekeeping, and I just really like the way that it writes, so I wrote this poem with it, and now you're touching it. I'm okay. What did I just... Can we pretend this conversation never happened? You can keep the poem, though. Lastly, we show our poem to Monika. Ugh. Dan the drummer, I think you saw something earlier that you weren't supposed to see. I didn't want to have to tell you this, but I don't think I have a choice. It's getting kind of dangerous for you to spend so much time with Yuri. What are you getting at? I don't know why, but she seems pretty excitable when she's around you, which shouldn't be a problem in itself, but when Yuri gets excited, she finds a place to hide and starts cutting herself with a pocket knife. Isn't that kind of messed up? I've been using the wrong voice for this whole conversation. She even brings a different one to school every day, like she has a collection or something. I know she has a collection. I mean, it's definitely not because she's depressed or anything like that. I think she just gets some kind of high from it. It might even be like a sexual thing. But the point is, you're kind of been enabling her. I'm not saying it's your fault though, but I guess that's why I had to explain it all to you. So I think if you keep your distance, that would probably be best for her. While you're at it, don't be shy to spend a little more time with me. To put it lightly, I at least have it together in the head, and I know how to treat my club members. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Save me, the colors, they won't. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise won't stop, violent, grating, fervent, squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing a chalkboard at a turntable, like playing a knife on a breathing ribcage, needles of nings. You say you have it together. Delete her. Delete who? Sorry, I know it was kind of abstract. I'm just trying to, well, never mind. There's no point in explaining. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip for the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. I always forget this tip. You never know when, who am I talking to? Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. Anything. That's my advice for you today. Thanks for listening. You have to unlock. Would you like to read it? Yes. A dream. I was staying over at my friend's place. There were 4 of us. I drifted off to sleep while everyone was talking and watching TV. In my dream, I was still at my friend's house. The only difference was that there was nails sticking out of the walls everywhere, and there was also someone I didn't recognize. The person I didn't recognize told a joke, and everyone laughed. I woke up to the sound of everyone laughing at something that happened on the TV. So the laughing was not part of the dream. It was the noise that woke me up. I wonder who that person was, and how they knew to tell a joke at that moment. Okay. That was a bit creepy.
this game is taking a really weird turn. But I think I'm gonna call it quits for this episode, seeing as looks like we're back to square one, as I always stop my episodes when Monika says her catchphrase. But yeah, this episode has been one of the weirder ones, but I think I feel a bit I don't know how you say it. Anyway, like the things that are happening now aren't affecting me as much as that first scene of Sayori did. But I guess it can't get any worse, right? Right?